Yeah, and the other thing they don't talk about is how weird some of these virgin girls are. Like,
Oh, yeah.
and they think it's cute weird. I think in concept, they're like, "Oh, I don't mind if she's weird." I'm like, "Oh, you haven't met these church girls." I'm like, "You are not.
No, no. If a
You are
girl has her
not."
virginity at 25, there's going to be other issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Bunny, my fiance, she's the one that kind of clued me into some of this stuff because she gives me a lot of insight into the female mind that I would never have had by myself. You know, she's like a virgin at 25. There's something off there, and it's kind of like they want a virgin who's also a porn star in bed. You're asking for two different things.
Well, and it's usually women that won't give up control. Yeah, like
Got it.
they're really controlling, and they can't imagine like giving a guy that leverage, you know.
Yeah, and I
Or
think I think it's hard on the small amount of like Christian women that I've been privy to. It's very hard for them to shift gears because for like 18 or 19 years they've been told sex is bad, and
yeah,
now they go through the ceremony, they're married, and they're supposed to say they're supposed to start enjoying it. All of a sudden there's like whiplash.
yeah.
So everybody's kind of like put at a disadvantage. And I had never thought about it until I kind of read that and found out and heard those stories.
No, I know a guy that happened to. He waited till marriage, and then his wife wouldn't sleep with him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's
Like,
so
oh
many.
no,
Yeah,
no.
you're supposed to go from 0 to 100, and it's just not natural. That's asking a
Yeah,
lot of anyone.
yeah. I want to show this clip. I think I mentioned we were gonna watch. Um, yeah, and do you know what? It was so interesting because your commentary on this, I don't think. Okay, so if you guys don't know, I don't watch sports, so I don't know what sport he plays, but this is a rich
Soccer,
athlete that makes a
soccer.
lot of money. Soccer, okay. And so this is his girlfriend, fiance, well, I don't know, the girl he's involved with. And this is a clip that went viral of her saying this. Let's show it.
And so he was the one I did like first. And then when I saw you, I changed my view to you. And then you had a very nice song. I do think it's fake, but you don't. I asked you this question before. I asked, like, I think this is fate for us to meet. And he was just like, you think?
All right, Flash.
And so
Yeah, so she's essentially saying that she liked his friend first.
And guys got worked up.
Guys got really mad, but I'm like, and I had the same thought as you that I thought that's maybe she shouldn't say that publicly. That's kind of embarrassing, but I think it's kind of normal. Like at least where I'm from, I mean,
Yeah.
because okay, let me read your response really quick.
Okay.
Or you said, wait, hold on. Oh no. Okay. Share this tab instead. Okay. Girls were designed to be passed around. Men at his level are going to meet girls already in their social circle, pre-approved girls and groupies. Yeah. Girls aren't leaving that social circle, fail with one guy and she goes to the next. This is normal. Because another thing they don't take into account is the guys at this level are going to see her. Like if she didn't crash out during a breakup with the first guy, then they'll assume she's like stable. So it's like less risky is what I've seen anyway. This guy is literally athletic royalty in his country. He's been a celebrity since he was walking. The last thing he's thinking about is her. And don't confuse American morality and sexual weirdness with the more relaxed, casual nature of the Netherlands and Europe. They don't give an F. Go ahead.
And that's it in a nutshell. I mean, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
In, the very first is these girls, it's kind of like being in a band. Groupies are available to everyone in the band.
Yeah.
She's not just with the drummer, she's also with the guitarist, and then she may end up marrying the lead singer. And that's normal. And there's certain groups, and especially like with professional athletes, there's girls that marry one and then they divorce and they marry the other, tied in from the same team. And that's normal. And also in wealthier circles. And that's where I got where the girls don't leave. I mean, those girls, they're in a rarefied atmosphere. They're not leaving. It's hard to get into those groups in the first place. And a lot of times they may have went to school with these guys, or there's a reason for them to all have common friends. And it's a very small country where they're from. So when she breaks up with one, she's already got her eyes on the other. She knows where she's going. They're not leaving that group.
And if you had a good experience, there's a referral. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. These are girls that have been around him usually for years.
Yeah.
And the best examples is they tend to, in wealthier circles of athletes and that have grown up as professional athletes, they all know each other, and they've all been around each other forever. So it's like when two couples break up and one of the husbands marries the new ex-wife of the couple they're friends with. There's familiarity there.
I know people
So-
that have literally swapped like husband and wife.
Exactly. Yeah, and this is normal. I mean, and all she said was, I liked him, and then I saw you and I liked you more.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. And where they're from, those two live together and they have a child together that's like 2 years old. And where they're from, there's a lot more cohabitation and family planning. Then down the road, they get married. Here in the US, we're all about dating, engagement, wedding, house, babies. That's the girl blueprint. So they follow that in the US. And there they live together, then they have kids together, then down the road they get married. So effectively they're married for their culture. What
do you think about when guys say that this is disgusting, women like shouldn't be, I got one right there. That's gross. and nothing against, I respect guys' right to feel this way, but I'm like, guys,
Yeah.
I just think we're kind of whores, I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I leave it, I leave it up to them. It's, if it doesn't work for you, that's fine. And that's understandable. And it's a visceral response and it's emotional too. And nor should they try to extinguish it. I mean, I'm not saying either is right or wrong. It's just, it's normal. She liked this other guy. She likes this guy enough to have his children,
And it's like a different way of speaking when you try to take away morality from it, but it's very hard because there's a lot of like Christian conservatives and they just can't like men, I understand women should be virgins, but we're not. So it's like, what are you going
to Your boyfriend asks that pretty consistently. Were you a virgin when you got married? It shuts everybody down.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he does. It's pretty funny. You mentioned in these circles also, so you've seen the phenomenon of affluent fives, which is where wealthy men pick fives over more attractive women.
Yes. Mentally, most guys think, I get rich, I'm going to get a beautiful woman. Well, most men, especially if it's coming from older money or generational money, like your parents had money and you're the second generation or third or fourth. And I discovered this basically one day. It hit me. I was at my gym, and at about 9:30, the local affluent wives have dropped off the kids and they come into the gym, and they're all fit. They're all very social, very great wives, great women, great people, and fit. But facially, none of them are classically pretty.
Yeah.
They're a five. I mean, they may even be somewhat unattractive facially, but they're slim and in shape and healthy. And their personalities are fantastic. And that's who affluent men, especially if they come from like family businesses, tend to marry. Like the president marrying like the models, it's more of an anomaly.
Yeah.
And when you like look at an affluent neighborhood, I'm not sure where you grew up. I mean, but like I live in an affluent neighborhood simply because that's where the business is. It works. It's great. But you're going to see this. It's not a knockout beautiful women everywhere. Maybe in California, but not in like Minneapolis and the wealthier enclaves, across the U.S.
Do you think it's a risk mitigation for them, or do you think it's just because they don't have the time? Or something else?
It's going to be a number of factors working together. A lot of times the parents have already kind of like identified who they would prefer that he marry. Like if he brings a girl home his freshman year of college, they'll be like, she's nice. But if you talk to Jennifer, she's in town, and that's how they make it happen.
That's so true.
And they keep inviting Jennifer to every party, So that's how it happens. They already have an idea. And men,
because there's a certain social, you know what? I was thinking that men don't really care as much about social class, but the women in their lives do.
Very much so.
You're not going to have some old, like some ratchet girl coming back, even if she's hot. We're not doing it.
And also in those social groups, a very beautiful woman upsets the equilibrium.
Oh, that's so true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different things going, and like you said, it's what would you say? Risk mitigation to a certain extent, but what I've seen, I mean, these affluent fives are fantastic moms, fantastic wives, and the classic example, and people get really upset. It's like Jacqueline Onassis, Kennedy Onassis, the first lady.
Oh yeah.
She's not classically pretty in the face, but a classy woman, she's an affluent five. Or Jeff Bezos' first wife, not a classically pretty woman, but, she got the job done.
Would you put his last wife as a five? I don't know what to call
His
it.
current wife?
Yeah.
No, his current wife.
Actually, explain that to me, because I give her mid of the year because that was great.
Well, but she was an entertainment reporter, so she's already in those circles. She'd been married to a celebrity already.
Yeah.
And had dated a famous football player. She's not leaving that circle.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But what would make a guy like Bezos? Because, she just kind of looks like a walking red flag. You know what I mean? I'm just.
She knows. I think she should get some type of award for closing the deal. She knows exactly what she's doing. She could have chose any man, and she chose him.
Yeah.
And she's pursued him and closed the deal. I'm sure they have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I gave her the greatest mid of all time.
She earned that. Whatever she's done, she earned it. And she probably knows men and how to attract men better than any other woman on earth right now.
Yeah, no, seriously. Who is the other one? There's like one or two other ones I did shows on where I just said, oh, Taylor Swift's another one. Mid of the year.
But doesn't she kind of like, are you saying because she attracted this football player?
So, when average looking women, even past their prime, land like a really high value guy, I give them mid of the year.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So it's like, where you just, because from a look standpoint, Taylor Swift is like a 5'6", I'd say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She's like mid 30s. So I'm like, she's competing with 20-year-olds for this NFL
football player. Yeah.
And she won mid of the year. And it's the same thing with the Bezos' wife,
Yeah.
So both of them, I did give Bezos' wife the crown because, she's a bit older, 2 baby daddies. I mean, that's.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of
a little rough around the edges. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like mid of the year. Is there anyone you'd nominate for mid of the year?
No, I didn't ever think about Taylor being in there, but that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. That's pretty good. And she's just, she's slim, tall, kind of awkward, great entertainer, makes a lot of people happy. I think it's pretty funny.
Yeah. You said, it actually reminds me of something that you said. I used to have this idea that women, if they made poor life choices, that they would have consequence. I really thought they would. But it turns out when women are hot enough, they have no consequences. None.
Attractive women will always land on their feet.
Okay, so what made you think of that? Tell me.
Time, watching women over what 40 or 50 years.
Okay.
The only wild card is alcoholism,
Yeah.
drug abuse. Those tend to like derail. Even an unwanted pregnancy will not derail an attractive woman. Men marry single moms, divorced women every day. You know, you get a lot of pushback on Twitter, and maybe in your world you see it a little bit. But in general, you know, once a guy has kids himself, you don't really think about her having kids. It's actually an advantage, you know, because she understands, you know, your weekends are taken up or you have to be here. So it's different dynamics.
Oh, actually, could you explain that more? So some guys want women with kids?
Yeah, it's going to be a non-issue. Once you have kids,
Yeah.
you're usually trying to date a woman that doesn't have kids.
Mm.
She's not going to understand like these little balls of energy, and you have to be you know, you're actually taking them to Disneyland. You've got to be somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
You're not available to her like a guy without kids would be, and she doesn't understand their needs.
Yeah, no, that's really. I know a guy that was looking for a single mother because he wanted her to stay home, and he felt like a woman with no kids wouldn't stay home because she'd want to work or do like go to events, do whatever.
Yeah.
So he like married a single mom and then just like retired her immediately.
Everybody wins.
Yeah.
And I say that, you know, I mean, I can understand a guy that does not have children not wanting, you know, I understand that because there's, you know, there's a lot of things going on there in the background. But once you have kids, it really becomes a non-issue. Not for everyone. I know guys with kids that they just won't do it. But in general, they understand your challenges.
So when men start dating women in your like system or program, and they actually you know, are dating multiple women, have a rotation, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. What are things that you advise men to screen for?
Well, if the girl's in the rotation, you know, it's a little bit looser. Does that make sense? I mean, you know, if you want to screen probably before you even start dating, most girls don't make it through. One of the things that happens is when you date a lot of women, you know, and like I say, for beginners, it takes about 3 dates to close the deal. Mm-hmm. For intermediate, it takes 2. And then for a guy who's advanced, you're going to sleep with the girl on the first night, or you're probably not going to sleep with her at all. Mm-hmm. And it's not because your game is so much better. It's because you're better at picking women that fit you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you're not wasting time with women that don't even like you.
Exactly.
You can pick out what women don't like you. Yeah. So not that you're that much more charming, but if you know,
exactly,
girl likes a certain type, you find the women that actually like that type.
Yeah, and I call it, you have yes girls, maybe girls, and no girls, and you just pick more yes girls.
Yeah,
you know, and once you've been around yes girls who are like, hey, you want to meet up for a drink? Yes. How about 8 o'clock at this bar? Yes. Hey, you want to go to my place? Yes. You know, I mean, after a while, you figure out who the yes girls are, and it just makes life easier for everyone.
I forgot you had a tweet about telling women off. There's 2 types of guys when they do get the no, or she's rude or flaky. That there's some guys that tell the women off, and there's some guys that are just chill. Could you expand on that?
Well, okay,
you know what I'm talking about or no?
Yeah, in general, I think I did like a video on this just recently.
Yeah.
In general, girls are going to ghost. Let's say you go out with her one time, and then her ex-boyfriend shows back up on her doorstep the next morning, and he wants another shot. It's usually an ex. Mm-hmm. And so she ghosts you. You may not hear from her for a couple of weeks, a month or 2, long enough for this thing to run its course and fall apart again. She reaches back out to you. You just come back in, start sleeping together. She will 9 times out of 10 go, hey, I'm really sorry about ghosting you, but my ex-husband showed back up. We got 2 kids, and I had to give it a shot, and it just didn't work out.
Hmm.
But the other group of guys will be like, no, I refuse to talk to her, or I'm not taking her back, or she'll just do it again. Or like you said, they'll tell her off, don't ever contact me again. And those guys they have the satisfaction of ghosting her or telling her off, but they're not getting laid. So you have to decide which one is important to you. And some guys just cannot deal, and I totally respect their decision. They can't deal with a girl that leaves and comes back, leaves and comes back, even though, if you're running a lot of women, that's going to be pretty normal.